The reality is the market has already started to shift.
Hey, this is Blake Sloan. I've been selling real estate over 14 years. Our team of highly trained professionals, along with our unmatched marketing, has sold thousands of homes here in the Myrtle Beach area, and this is how we do it.
It's really going to help you guys. I think it's important. I kind of call it the shift foundation. And the simple stuff we talked about, but I think it's really a great reminder in terms of what we do. It's not normally going to be one like I normally do this big, but number one, the first thing you got to do to yourself here is I've got to make sure that I'm a truth seeker. What do you think that means? Truth seeker.
Look at facts instead of feelings.
Yes. Why?
Feelings will lead you wrong every time.
As change happens, right? It happens to me all the time. I see something, I feel something's off. I'm very, very good at that and doing this business for a long time. This is down really bad. This is getting bad. And then Alex brings up the data, and he says, well, it's actually not that bad. Here's the number where it is right here. And so once you have the true data and the true numbers, the emotion piece doesn't matter. But more importantly, though, this truth seeker is about what? This is about you. Am I a truth seeker about me? Which is what? Am I really doing the work? Or am I avoiding it? Right? Am I really doing what it takes for the result? Like, I have to be willing to step back and be a truth seeker for myself and look at that in that scenario. Am I really doing what's required? Am I being honest with myself? Is I've got to make sure that I got to ask myself, hey, am I a truth seeker? Number one, truth seeker about me. Second piece of that's going to be truth seeker about the data, the marketplace, what's going on. Hey, look, 15%. I know I'm a heck of a lot better than everybody else. I can make up for that easily. And our 15% is not that big a deal because the market's been up significantly over the past 2 years. And so I understand, hey, look, I can still win. I can make a tremendous amount of money in this, and I can outwork everybody else I know, and I'm that much better because why? We have the gift that we have here. Right? And what systems, processes, leads, conversion. This is when the presentations really work. Right? You didn't need a presentation that good when everybody's in a frenzy to buy anything they can, and they'll buy it sight unseen over the telephone. Right? This is when it makes a big difference for you guys to understand that in that piece. Second piece of this is something that's important. I want you guys to understand and really look at the next 2 days. And this is some things you have to think about myself. Is number one, am I transparent? You got to get to this level where am I fully transparent with me and those around me? And one of the things I got is there sickness in your secrets. I got that a while back for somebody. Sickness in your secrets. What do you think that means? Right, there's a difference between being fully transparent and hiding. 100%. Right? It kills any relationship you have with yourself, team, with anybody else, but ultimately with yourself, it's like, look, am I being fully transparent? Am I being real? This goes obviously our real and raw stuff. But transparency, like, look, I'm not hiding, I'm being open, I'm being in the scenario, here's what's going to happen. This is my strategy, right? I call it the shift foundation. It's got to be my foundation going forward because why? I've got to be real and raw and really truly plugged into what's going on around me because it's going to be an emotional battle as you see the market continue to change. Just flat out is what it is. It's going to be a mental battle, right? That's why last week was more so talking about, hey, look, here's a framework to get you through the other piece, right? Super important. Third piece of this is, am I accountable? Accountable. What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
If you don't hit something, you hold yourself accountable, you don't bullshit it.
Yes. Number one, do I hold myself accountable? Or do I let myself off the hook all the time? I talked about this a few weeks ago, is that it's very easy. We all have reasons that we can let ourselves off the hook and be fine with it. We all have things going on, chaos going on, life going on. Maybe you've got kids, you got problems, kids, you got all kind of stuff, right? Everybody has all these things going on. Anybody can let themselves off the hook, but am I truly hold myself accountable? Could it be done? Was it possible? The second piece of this, am I allowing myself to be accountable, be held accountable by others? What will that mean?
Sharing your goals with your spouses or
Yes.
somebody out in this office.
Brandon's talked about a lot that some of your accountability to Erica is something that really helped you a lot. Right? Are you doing that the same thing here with your coworkers, with me, with Alex and things? Hey, look, am I truly being accountable and letting others hold me accountable to that? And am I holding myself accountable to that? Because here's the thing. If I don't do this and this part doesn't matter. And that's the point that we try to teach about. Is like, I can't help you until you're fully a truth seeker for yourself and understanding, hey, look, am I actually doing the work? Am I truly making a 15% increase in my productivity, or am I just pretending like it and just talking about it? That's the key secret here. And what's going to ultimately come out is you can't hide from this, because you can't really pretend that you're going to do anything different and not do it with 15% less buyers in here. It's going to start showing up in about the next 2 to 3 weeks. Thankfully, our numbers of buyers who still search the site was only down like 2%. Why is that? Because you haven't seen the full effect yet of the new month, new leads being in a shortage. Does that make sense? And we'll double down and spend more money on leads, but I got to figure out, all right, what's the different ratio? What do we need for that to figure out what it is? But even then, those buyers that are in there are going to be more timid, more scared, things like that. Does that make sense for you guys in that scenario? But you got to be, one, accountable to yourself, number one. And for you to be able to do that, you're never going to be able to do that unless you're transparent with yourself, with others around you, right? And you're a truth seeker inside yourself and your business. That's how you're able to kind of combat this and make sure, here's how I have the true foundation to make sure I can dominate going forward as things change. Super, super important here in this piece. And the last one here I think is super important. You're asking yourself, and here's what I want you guys to ask yourself. Am I, in this scenario, am I a truth seeker? Am I a truth seeker right now in my business, how I operate and what I do in those pieces here? Number one, am I? Number two, am I what? Transparent. Third piece, am I accountable? And the last one is, am I disciplined? Why do you think discipline's on here? It's going to be your number one weapon against any change. The discipline will be your number one weapon against any change, meaning that you're able to make sure you come through and you continually show up, you continually do the work, and you're keeping this consistency. I'm going to build on this in a second of why this matters, of having this word consistency and what that means in the process. Very, very important. I put this in my notes here, right? It says, be honest with yourself. The best plan doesn't matter without discipline. The best plan doesn't matter without discipline. Meaning that, and here's the crazy part. And I'll talk about this in the next section I was going to teach on. But you can do things right over and over and over. All these things can matter. And so it's the same in your business. I've got to maintain that discipline and consistency here to make sure I can keep that momentum and continue to win this process. And I don't want you to feel like, hey, look, these numbers going down or issue that big of a deal. But at the same time here, what's going to happen is you're going to see a huge amount of people who level up here are going to take massive market share. The ones that fall victim are going to come down here and be with this much market share. That makes sense to you guys? Why? Because most people don't adjust when it comes to a shift. They do what? The status quo, and they stay the same. And so I don't share this to scare you or to mess up energy. If you're brand new, don't worry, you're going to win anyways. You don't know better. You're just going to keep doing a lot of stuff, and you're going to make sure that you're going to win. People that have been doing this for a while, they're seeing all this 15% less buyers, which is going to get bigger, just so you know, right, to 20%, a little bit bigger than that as rates continue to go up. And it's going to mess them up because, wow, they're going to go the same way they were, and it's really going to hurt them because they won't get the same results, and all of a sudden what do? They spiral out of control mentally, and they end up giving up, or a lot of times they'll just kind of their business will go down. That makes sense to you? So if you're brand new, don't worry about it. You're still going to dominate because you don't know any better. Same thing I did when I started the business in 2005, opened the company in 2008. I just kept winning. Was it tough? Yeah, but I knew I could sell and make some money, and I wasn't going to go back to bartending. And guess what? All of a sudden, you create this massive gap because everyone else had this mindset of how things should be. And so that's the key piece here of like, look, this is a big thing, and here's the thing. I don't think it's going to be that much different than a couple years ago, but I want to make sure that you're understanding. I need you to be able to have a weaponized mind here through all this. I need you to be able to hold yourself accountable, because what makes or breaks it is the things that no one sees. The small decisions you make throughout the day, the small decisions you make at the night, when if you make the calls or not make the calls, do I respond to that buyer, or do I respond to them, or do I meet them this weekend, or do I try to push it off to next week? Those small details are going to make or break you going through the process. Why? Because it's more competitive, smaller pool of buyers, and the buyers are timid and they're scared. Same thing with sellers. Guess what? It's going to be just difficult because they think the market should be up here. The market's really not up there. It's down here. And you're going to have to make sure that you're this much better to help understand, how do I make sure I can do the extra piece to get this done? Because when it comes down to it, there'll be 15% less sales. Right? Going for it with less buyers. Probably, that's going to take a few months to do in that scenario, but it's something that's very, very important for us to understand. I want to tell you, I need you guys to find a new level of each one of these. So if I think I was accountable before, how do I find the next level of accountability for me? How do I seek out accountability from those that care about me here in this place, like myself, Alex, your coworkers, who have a vested interest in my success? How do I find a new level of accountability in that piece? Same thing here. How do I find a new level of transparency? Why? Because if I know the market's changing, I want to know I'm doing the right stuff. But if I hide that, or if I hide as a person because I'm not transparent about it, then guess what? That person can't help me, or they can't help me as much or as fast. Does that make sense to you? If you're saying you're doing your dial, but you're not getting the result, and we're trying to help you fix something else that's not really the key piece, which is making the actual dials or whatever it may be, then we can't help you in that, and it's just wasting both of our times in that scenario. Does that make sense? The more transparent you are, the more you can fix it, and the faster you can make adjustments here. Okay, and so I have to look inside myself, figure out how do I make sure I find the next level here so that I can continue to win through this shift in any way. This is the foundation here of me, aka on the inside. You guys with me on this? Just as true on the seller side, but most people, what they do is they stick their head in the sand and pretend like nothing's changing. Most people, guess what they're not willing to do? Not willing to pay the price. Why? It's uncomfortable. They have to change their habits. May take working a little bit extra. May take reading a little bit extra. May take the extra mile, which is usually hard for a lot of people to do. It's hard for the masses to do. And so I want you to understand that, look, there's got to be something that's done here to make sure I can pay the price.